Good evening and a very warm welcome to the audience here at the Festival Theatre Studio in Edinburgh and to those of you watching online on digital as well. I'm Sarah Walker. I'm absolutely delighted to be here to be introducing the second of our new European Songbook concerts. They've involved a truly diverse range of music and musicians, and they're part of Spirit of 47, and that's a programme of events co-curated by the Edinburgh International Festival and the British Council, and they were the founding partners of the very first Edinburgh International Festival 70 years ago. And this year, they're reminding us of that original festival belief that arts and culture can act as a beacon of hope and reconciliation in a divided world. Well, as we heard in the first of our concerts, the new European Songbook is all about collaboration. The project's brought together established European musicians from 7 nations with artists who've recently arrived in the continent. Broadcasters across Europe commissioned these new songs and made films of them, so we'll see them on BBC Arts Digital and we'll hear them on BBC Radio 3. But this weekend they're actually receiving their first live performances here in Edinburgh. Well, I will be talking to all the artists during the evening about how they came together to make these songs. Each of them will be performing individually, and then we'll hear the song that they've made together. So without further ado, I think we should get on with the music, and please welcome a lady who's no stranger to the Edinburgh International Festival, the award-winning singer-songwriter Kareem Polwart.
Hello. This is my brother Stephen here. We'll start with a song I wrote with my friend and neighbour Martin Green for a festival commission from last year. It was called Flit, and it told stories of movement and exile and migration. And this song is inspired by Martin's grandfather Paul, who came to Britain as a boy, a Jewish refugee, on the Kinder transport, and this is called Suitcase. The suitcase in the lobby is always packed and ready for the leaving if he needs to, when he needs to, when it comes. The only thing you need to know is when it's time to go, when it's time to go. And the whistle blows and the train leaves the station. Each coach is lined with silver and gold, and in his dream no final destination. Everyone on board grows old. Neatly they sit in rows. The sunlight is warm on their skin. Wet nose is pressed to the window pane, and each one is glowing from within. And they're heading for home, heading for home. Satchels and raincoats and heading for home, heading for home, heading for home. Picnics and blankets and heading for home. Friends and lovers, fathers and mothers, and the skinny wee boys who didn't make it. They're heading for home, heading for home. Satchels and raincoats and heading for home.
Father's hand, and he still holds his father's hand.
The suitcase in the lobby is always packed and ready. Thank you.
Kareem Polwart, and what a wonderful song, Suitcase. Karine, do come over and have a chat with me. And I'd like to welcome as well your collaborator, Densua Tordzro. Do come and join us, Densua. And Karine, first of all, I'd like to ask you, why were you so keen to be involved with the new European Songbook?
I think I was really keen to work with someone who lived here in Scotland and who has come from a different culture, a different place, but is making this their home. And just because I think the issue of people moving and making homes in new places is it's the big issue of our time. So I was really delighted when Densua said she would.
And I get the impression, having seen you work together, that this is a true collaboration. I mean, do you have much in common, do you feel?
I think when we met in a wee office in Glasgow University. Densua does some research there, and I think we knew straight away we were going to hit it off. We started jamming. It was really easy to get on. We're women of a certain age, and we're happy. Women in your prime,
I would say. Well, Densua, it's great to see you here. And do you feel that with your Ghanaian background, there's much in Scottish culture that you have in common with your culture?
Yes, I would say. When I met Karine, our style of playing, it's just the same as I would play with back home. The way we create music, the way she creates music, and we both felt comfortable with each other, and that was it.
Right away, yeah, it's a really nice thing. And actually, I think that's so much of the music I make is very folk-based, and so much of it is about sociability and about, it's not necessarily, it's about meeting and connecting with people rather than any great cleverness or, But we're clever too, of course. So.
Of course, never let it be said, yes, indeed. And Densua, you are wearing a beautiful gown tonight. Now tell us a little about the fabric. This is relevant to music, it is.
Okay, so the fabric I'm wearing says, Medemesia boadre amobi abefa, meaning I've cracked a nut with my teeth and someone has taken it away. Nobody has taken my nut away, but just like the fabric and the colors, that's why I'm wearing it today. But I grew up in a family where cloth and music is very, very important. For instance, when you're going to get married, I grew up with my grandmom, and she would teach you the type of fabric or cloth you should have in your suitcase. And most of the clothes have names and meanings. And sometimes you find some clothes that speak without you saying a word in our culture. So, for instance, if I have a problem with somebody, or if I want to say something, like what I'm wearing, if I want to tell somebody has done something to me, I'll put on this cloth, for instance.
Do you know what? It could be a really good way to get rid of passive-aggressive behaviour.
Yes.
I totally agree. So very quickly, just tell me about your collaboration and what's it called, the basic theme of it.
It's called Bebashe, meaning time will come. I was really, really glad that Karine wanted to do this with me, because we both have a mutual friend, and she mentioned that Karine wanted to do a music with somebody based in Scotland and also from another country. And I didn't even let her finish. I said, yes, I'll do it, because I've been to her workshop in Solas last year. And I really love, I was saying to my husband, I would love to do something with this lady. And then a phone call came, and she said, yeah, I didn't let her finish what she was saying. I said, yes, I'll do it.
And before we hear your collaboration, Densua, you're going to perform alone. What's your piece?
It's called Meaning Fable. What have I done to you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, the two of you. Let's hear that now.
So this is the song we wrote together. It's called "The Time Will Come," and the lyrics in Ga. What are they saying?
It says "Bebashe." This song came about when one day I was watching the telly and watching how refugees come over and you see them arriving in certain countries and they get refused. And what triggered this was when the little boy was pulled out of the little boy that died, and this was triggered the song. So Bebashe, time will come. Bebashe banyabolo. Bebashe banyabolo Kajimbongo ni biboni Asobano hamilo Kajimbongo ni biboni Asobano hamilo Bebashe banyabolo
How far around the corner can you see? And do you know what a new day brings? Is the earth beneath your feet as sure as it can be? And will the road rise to meet you?
sheba ya bolo, beba sheba ya bolo, kajimbongo ni biboni, jemo tui mi konyo wa mi, kajimbongo ni biboni, jemo tui mi konyo wa mi. Beba sheba ya bolo, beba sheba ya bolo.
What's sailing over the horizon? And do the waters ebb or flow? And if you swim, then will you reach dry land? And will the road rise to meet you?
Sheba ya bolo, beba sheba ya bolo. Kai mwake when yeshon.
Time will come, the time will come.
Moko le wasande.
You'll need a hand to hold.
Kai mwake jele ni jeke.
When it comes and when it comes,
Moko le
will the
wasande.
road rise?
Rewa, beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba.
Time will come,
Beba sheba.
time will come,
Beba sheba.
time will come,
Beba sheba.
time will come.
Beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba ya bolo. Beba sheba ya bolo.
And could you thank Gilbert and Alfred and Gamali?
A time will come. Thank you so much to Na, Densua, Tordzro and Kareem Polwart and their friends as well for that rather beautiful song. Now, while we reset the stage here at the Edinburgh Studio Theatre, I'm going to chat to our next two performers who I'm delighted to have join me now. We have Scilla Hess from Switzerland and Markelian Kapedani, originally from Albania. Welcome to you both. And Scilla, you represented Switzerland in Eurovision in 2011. I was watching you. You were fabulous. Your career has gone from strength to strength. What made you want to get involved in the new European Songbook?
I love the project because it's an intercultural exchange, and I think that music is the medium that actually can unite us all, and that can bring us all together. Music doesn't have borders or countries. It is freedom, and we can express our feelings and our passions together, and I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. And people in Switzerland, of course, speak several different languages. I know you yourself are an Italian speaker. Markelian also happens to be an Italian speaker, so perhaps you could translate, ask him some questions in Italian for us. Perhaps you could ask him what he most enjoys about working with you.
Allora, praticamente quello che...
È una collaborazione importante perché nasce in modo abbastanza semplice e quindi è bello quando si collabora per creare musica, specialmente quando abbiamo fatto i primi approcci musicali, le prime prove.
So we were jamming together, and we had a really cool vibe going on, and it was cool because he comes from another world, more the jazz world, and I come more from like a pop world. So we jammed and mixed up our genres, and that was really fun.
Well, could you ask Markelian now perhaps about the jazz scene in Albania? Because I've heard that he did the first jazz concert in Albania after the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Ok, il jazz da noi era proibito, quindi era di nascosto, si suonava nelle case. La musica generale era la classica fino alla caduta del muro di Berlino. Dopo c'è stata la possibilità di suonare anche il jazz e altre musiche.
So basically, jazz was a genre that was forbidden in Albania. The genres that actually could be played were classical music and folkloristic music. But after the Berlin Wall fall, jazz was actually allowed, and he did the first jazz concert in Albania.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing your collaboration. And Sheila, what have you most enjoyed about collaborating with Markelian?
I really enjoyed mixing our worlds. He's really inspiring to me because he's a really great jazz player and has a lot of influences. He can play basically anything, and he played a lot of different. I love his jazz chords, and they're very inspiring to me. So.
And your song is called La Notte Sai. Tell me what that means.
La Notte Sa means only the night knows. The song talks about the fears and doubts that we can have in a long-distance relationship or an emotional distance relationship. And because of the nature of the relationship, which is very unstable and unknown, we can, put up walls. And during the day, we might not express our desires, but at night, we might take off our masks, and only the night knows our real truth.
This is intriguing. And before that, we're going to hear you singing a song called Trouble in My Veins. And then Markelian is going to play the last lullaby. So perhaps you could ask him what kind of a lullaby this is.
L'ultima ninna nanna, perché normalmente le ninna nanne le cantano le mamme ai propri bimbi. Invece in questo caso è una figlia che canta l'ultima ninna nanna alla mamma che se ne va nell'altro mondo.
So basically the song was inspired by the passing of a mother. One of his dear friends' mother passed away. And normally lullabies are sang from mothers to kids. But this was the last lullaby that the daughter could sing to his mother passing away. And that's what inspired the song.
Well, thank you so much to you both, and I'd love to hear your song first of all. Sheila, thank you to you both. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Sheila Hess with Trouble in My Veins. Thank you.
You're not my man. Don't take my hand. Don't fall for me, 'cause my love isn't free. Someone else's goodbye stole the stars in my sky. I'm a midnight thief that won't play for keeps.
It's a lonely road you'll choose to take. Oh no, no. Turn around before it's too late. 'Cause if love is your game, trouble is my name. The night is to blame. She's the trouble in my veins. It's lost desire, like rain on fire. Oh, like rain on fire. You can borrow tonight, but don't hold me tight. I'm a midnight thief, oh, that won't play for keeps. My desire burns fast, and my love turns to dust. Don't let your heart lose, won't be fixing your blues. It's a lonely road you choose to take. Oh no, no. Turn around before it's too late. 'Cause if love is your game, the trouble is my name. The night is to blame. She's the trouble in my veins. The night is to blame. She's the trouble in my veins. 'Cause if love is your game, then trouble is my name. Like rain on fire, oh, like rain on fire. Oh, yeah. Quando il sole sorgerà, per te notte calerà. Qui con me ti vorrei, 7 ore nel passato, vivi nei giorni miei le passioni effimere. Io resisto senza te, ma lo sai, quel che vuoi, non so brava ad aspettare tutti i comodi tuoi. La notte sa ciò che vuoi, sussurrando i segreti tuoi. La notte sa quel che fai, raggirando gli inganni a noi. La luna ruba buio e paura, e certe volte la storia più pura spegne le stelle, quelle più belle, sospiri rubati alla notte ribelle. La notte sa più di noi, mentre io non so più chi sei. Nella luna cerco te, nelle ombre cerchi me, illusioni di magia, mentre il tempo soffia via questa nostra poesia. Quando il sole svanirà si confondono le realtà, infrangiamo regole che alla luce osserviamo tra le maschere. La notte sa ciò che vuoi, sussurrando i segreti tuoi. La notte sa quel che fai, raggirando gli inganni a noi. La luna ruba buio e paura, e certe volte la storia più pura spegne le stelle, quelle più belle, sospiri rubati alla notte ribelle. La notte sa più di noi, mentre io non so più chi sei. La notte sa ciò che vuoi, sussurrando i segreti tuoi. La notte sa più di noi, raggirando gli inganni a noi. La luna ruba buio e paura, e certe volte la storia più pura spegne le stelle, quelle più belle, sospiri rubati alla notte ribelle. La notte sa più di noi, mentre io non so più chi sei. Ciò che vuoi, la notte sa più di noi. La luna ruba buio e paura, e certe volte la storia più pura spegne le stelle, quelle più belle, sospiri rubati alla notte ribelle. La notte sa più di noi, mentre io non so più chi sei. Mentre io non so più chi sei.
La Notte Sa, and bringing the house down, Markelian and Kapedani on the piano, Sheila Hess singing, both of them now based in Switzerland. Fantastic performance, and a multilingual performance as well. Very impressive. Well, now I'm very happy to say that I'm going to introduce a special guest for us tonight. She's a virtuoso on a traditional Syrian instrument, the qanun. She's based in London, and she's Maya Youssef. Maya, welcome. And tell me a little about the qanun. How important is it in traditional Syrian culture?
If you translate the word qanun literally from Arabic to English, it means law. And the reason why it's given this name is because it's the leading instrument in the traditional Arabic ensemble, or the Arabic takht, as we call it. And also because it has 78 strings, therefore other instruments depend on it for setting the pitch, setting the tuning. So therefore it's a very important instrument.
And when you wanted to learn the qanun as a young girl, was it easy to get lessons, find a teacher?
So it started with a story. In the beginning, I was learning the basics of music in Damascus at Sulh Institute, and there came the time where I was supposed to choose a musical instrument. And my parents suggested a violin, which I reluctantly agreed. And one day, we were heading towards the Music Institute, and the taxi driver was playing a recording of this instrument. And I was fascinated. I was blown away, and I told him, I was a 9-year-old kid. So I said, I'm going to play this instrument. And he just laughed at me, saying, you're a girl, and this is an instrument played by men. Just forget about it. And I challenged him and said, actually, I will play it. And my mother didn't take me very seriously, knowing me very well, because I'm a rebel, so she didn't mind. And but the coincidence happened that the very night, the head of the institute walks in and says, qanun class open for registration in one of the classes. And without a moment of hesitation, I went in, and my parents were amazing. They got me a new qanun within 2 days, and they gave away that old violin.
Well, that's fantastic. What a determined young woman you must have been, which is wonderful. And I've seen films of you performing all sorts of music on the qanun, not just traditional Syrian music. How versatile is the instrument?
It is amazingly versatile because of these metallic knobs on the side of the instruments. You'll see me doing a lot of flipping up and down all of the time. So it's very easy to modulate. It's just a flick. So I can perform any type of music, any genre, and also collaborate, so which makes it very special.
Wonderful. And I know you actually write your own music for the qanun as well. What sort of styles do you write in?
So obviously I'm Syrian, so I bring in that very rich, ancient tradition of qanun playing, and also bring a contemporary edge to it, and also my own touch. I mean, my music is mostly about facing what's happening in Syria, looking at it in the eye, and in a way making peace with it. If not making peace with it, talking with it, even though it's difficult. And this is a very healing process, I think, at least for me. Yeah, it's either a prayer for peace, or just thinking about peace, or trying to integrate a difficult experience.
Well, I can't wait to hear you play this beautiful instrument. Maya, thank you so much. And I know you're going to introduce the pieces yourself, so thank you very much. Maya Youssef.
So this piece is called Tuta, and it's a piece written by a Syrian refugee. His name was Farid al-Atrash. He's one of the most important Syrian composers, and obviously he was also a singer and an oud player. So there was war in Syria in the 1920s, and he had to fled that war. And the place to achieve stardom at the time was Egypt. And there Farid fell in love with an Egyptian girl who he was not supposed to fall in love with because his family didn't approve of, and therefore he wrote this piece as a tribute to his love, and it's called Tuta. Thank you. The next piece of music also has a story. In 2014, I was going through a very difficult time of my life. At the same time, Syria was being bombed. So I felt I was being bombed and my country was being bombed at the same time. So one night I had a dream that I was under a sky full of bombs falling. And as I was looking up, waiting for the bombs to fall down. And as they were approaching and about to hit me, they turned into rose petals. And when I woke up, I knew it's going to be a piece of music, and I called it Bombs Turn into Roses. I wish all bombs turn into roses, but that's only in my dreams. So bombs turn into roses.
Bombs Turn into Roses, beautiful piece, played on the qanun, traditional Syrian instrument by Maya Youssef. Thank you so much to Maya for talking to us, giving us a bit of background on that instrument. Well, I'm very happy to say that now my next two performers are actually from Syria, and they are Rasha, Rizk, the vocalist, and Shalan, Alhamwy. Welcome.
Thank you.
And by coincidence, you know Maya. You studied with her, I believe, the two of you.
Yes, because we are colleagues actually in the same music school in Syria. So all of us are colleagues.
Wonderful. And Shalan, you played with the Damascus Symphony Orchestra, didn't you? What brought you to Europe?
Well, you know, of course, the situation in my country, and I had to flee. But I played indeed in the symphonic orchestra, and it's amazing to see that they are still active till now. Why? This is a question who needs a long answer, but it's good because at least they have work, my colleagues, and sometimes they perform and it's bombing outside. I can never imagine how it is there.
Well, Rasha, tell me a little about the collaboration between the two of you.
With Shalan, I played many times with the orchestra when I was singing with the Syrian orchestra in Damascus. And we played also together with the Syrian expat Philharmonic Orchestra. Most of them are, all of them are Syrian musicians who are living now in Europe, between refugees and students. So we did many performance together, and most of these concerts were in Germany, I think. And this is the first time I sing one of Shalan compositions. And he proposed me, I think, many years ago. He made me listen to his compositions, and I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
And you call the song Departure. What kind of a departure is it about?
Well, it's a departure is our destiny as humans, actually. The life is just a series of departures and new stations in life. So it can be anything. It can be go away of your home, or go away of your friends or the loved people. In this very same case, it's the departure from the home.
And Rasha, tell me a little about the song you're going to perform, because before the collaboration, we're going to hear you perform alone.
Yes. I'm going to sing a traditional song from the Aleppo traditional music, and it's called Ya Ghazali. I did the arrangement. It's a kind of songs that usually there were like religious lyrics on it, but in Aleppo they like to change the lyrics and put, you know, other words about love, about life, about many things. So this song, the meanings of these lyrics are, "Oh, my beloved one, they took you away from me." So it's a bit sad song, but.
And you sing it brilliantly, I know, with an amazing, versatile voice you have. And Shalan, before that, we're going to hear you play a certain lullaby. Tell us a little more about that.
Yes, this piece, I was commissioned to write this piece by the International School of Brussels to be performed by the student orchestra. And the subtitle of this piece is for dead Syrian children. So it was symbolic that those student orchestra were playing a bit song to their colleagues who are dead. And yeah, it was symbolic, and they realized that the children who are being killed there are really real children. They are not just images in the news.
Well, Shalan, thank you very much, and I'd love to hear you perform now. Thank you, Rasha, too. Shalan, here is your lullaby. Thanks.
So the next song is a traditional song from Aleppo, Ya Ghazali.
يا غزالي كيف عني أبعدوك شتت شملي وهاجري عودوك يا غزالي كيف عني أبعدوك شتت شملي وهاجري عودوك قلت رفقا يا حبيبي قال لا قلت راعي الود يا ريم الفلا قال من هو فلا يخشى القلا قلت حسبي مدمعي قال سفوك
And now with Shalan's composition, Departure. لعلها
بعطفه الكثير رسمنا سقوفا على سماء غريبة لبيت جدرانه في الذاكرة يجيب صمتنا لابد أن العشب هناك نما فوق ظلالنا التي تركناها حول أحلام وقعت من يدنا
Departure, sung by Rasha, Rizk, and we had Shalan Alhamwy on the violin there, Ingrid Soers as well at the piano. And that brings us to the end of the second of our two new European Songbook concerts from Spirit of 47 at the Edinburgh International Festival. I would like to thank all the artists for playing for us, singing for us, telling us about their lives and their collaborations. They've been absolutely fabulous, and I think we should bring them back onto the stage for a final bow. Don't forget, you can hear and see all the songs on BBC Arts Online. And the song we heard by Karine and Densua is going to be broadcast tonight on BBC Radio 3, right after the evening prom. I'm very much looking forward to hearing it again. So I'll just say a big thank you to our audience here at the Festival Theatre Studio and to everybody who's joined us online, wherever you are in the world. It's good night from Edinburgh.